Hello friends! Alright, so in this video I'm going to explain the directions for our Create an Animal Adaptations project that you are going to spend this week working on. So this is going to be your focus the entire week, and the goal of this project is that you are going to be able to design and construct a new animal, which means you get to create an animal that doesn't exist, or you can combine different animals to make a brand new one that will have characteristics needed, so adaptations, needed to survive in a specific habitat. Now, this document is also attached to our lesson plans this week on EdSP, and I've also sent it to your parents. So you can either print this out or write in your notebook. You don't need to write these directions down. They have them online. All right, so the directions I'm going to go through, and I'm going to read them step by step with you. So, think of a specific area in the world where your animal will live. This is very important because an animal that lives in the ocean will need different adaptations than an animal that lives in a desert, or an animal that lives in a rainforest will need different adaptations from an animal that lives in the Arctic. Once you pick where your animal will live, you need to think about 2 adaptations. So those are just 2, not 1, not 3. 2 adaptations your animal will have. Then you must explain why the animal has these adaptations and how they will help them survive where they live. So think about, a polar bear is white. It's white because it lives in the Arctic where there's snow, and having white fur allows it to blend in. Think about why people wear camouflage when they go out into the woods, or if they're in the military. It helps them blend into their environment. So these are adaptations that help them survive. Now remember, this is a new made-up animal you're creating. Use your imagination to create a brand new animal with purposeful adaptations. Have fun with it. So think about, if you're making an animal that's going to live in the ocean, what are some adaptations it could have that could help it survive in the ocean and where it lives? Maybe an adaptation that helps it hide, an adaptation that helps it swim fast or catch food, an adaptation that helps it live longer. All right, step 3, or now step 1, really. You're going to research. So go on to Mayan and brainstorm some ideas. I've listed a few books below that I think are really helpful, but feel free to type in adaptations into Mayan and read whatever books you find the most helpful. All right, once you've read books and done some research, pick where you want your animal to live. Decide, do you want it to live in the Arctic, the ocean, the desert, the rainforest? Step 3. You're going to decide the 2 adaptations your animal will have. Think about why the animal will need these special adaptations to survive. And step 4, you're going to create a visual presentation of your new animal featuring the adaptations. This can be done in many ways. You can make a poster, you can do a drawing, you can make your animal out of clay and use different types of clay to model it. You have a lot of freedom. Feel open to do different things. I do want more than just a picture that you drew with pencil. Do not send me a picture that you did with pencil. I can tell where effort is, and I want to see a little more effort if this is all you're going to do this week. Creative. Alrighty. Once you've created your picture, or if you made it from clay, or if you made it on a poster, you are going to label the adaptation. So draw a line and create a label and label the adaptation. That way it is clearly, easily able to be seen. All right, step 5, you're going to write a paragraph and you're going to describe your animal. Remember, a paragraph is like 3 to 5 sentences. I'm asking that you do at least 4 to 5 sentences. You're going to have your first sentence where you tell me where your animal lives and the name you've given it. You can give it whatever name you want. You know, if your name's Cole, you can name it a Colosaurus Rex. If your name is Lillian, you can name it Lillianopolis. You know, feel free to do whatever you want. Be creative, have fun. I do expect this writing to be nice and neat. I do expect punctuation and capital letters where it needs to be. This is proper writing, even from at home. All right. Step 6, which is the final one on Friday, we are going to share projects on Zoom. You're going to show us your picture or your poster or however you made it, and you are going to read us your paragraph. All right, now, if I continue on, I've made a worksheet. Now, this worksheet, you can either print this or you can just write it in your notebook. So if you're writing it in your notebook, make sure it's pretty neat. Try to use your lines. We want it easy to read so that I can tell. So first off, I'm going to put my name in the top. This is week 6. All right, so I've already been brainstorming and I've done my research already, so this is going to take some time. It wouldn't be very fast. You need to first look at Mayan before you do this. Once you've looked at books on Mayan and you've got your ideas going, you can jot down ideas here while you're reading in Mayan or after you've read in Mayan and you've picked the book you want to use. But I want to do the Arctic. I know that it's very snowy, cold. I know there's not a lot of trees or plants. All right. So, down here, where's my animal going to live? It's going to live in the Arctic. I actually had a really good idea for the ocean, and I'm kind of wishing I did that now, but I'm still going to go with the Arctic. All right. Now remember, you could also do the ocean. You could do the desert. You could do the rainforest. Up to you. So, what is the name of my new animal? Ooh, this is where I get to have a lot of fun. So, it can be silly, it can have your name in it. I'm going to name mine. I'm going to kind of combine some of my ideas that I was thinking about. And I'm going to name it the Winter White Turtle. So hopefully when you guys see my ideas, you'll understand why I decided to name it the Winter White Turtle. But you can have a lot more fun with your names. Okay, so the first adaptation my animal is going to have is it's going to have a thick shell. Thick shell skin. And it's going to kind of look like a turtle, which is where I got the idea of a turtle. It's going to have, and I think of it almost as like an igloo, like almost like a portable igloo on it. But there's my best turtle impression. But it's not a turtle. So, how does this help the animal? Well, it's always going to have, because there's not a lot of trees or plants or places, it's always going to have its own little shelter to keep it warm. Okay, and then my next one is the inside. Also, inside is white, actually inside and outside, has white, thick fur, and that keeps it warm. But also, it camouflages it because it's going to be white in the snow. So I'm not going to do my whole writing for you, but you know what good writing looks like, especially if you're just going to tell me, my brand new animal lives in the rainforest. The name that I've named my animal is blah, blah, blah. The first adaptation my animal has is blank, and this helps it because it can blah, blah, blah. Alright, so then I'm going to do my writing. Once I'm done with my writing, then is when I get to my fun, creative part, and I get to create my animal. So I'm so excited to see this part, guys, because you can paint, you can color, you can draw, you can use clay, you can make a poster. I'm super duper excited to see what you think of. Feel free to be as creative with these as possible. There's animals that have crazy adaptations. There's plants that get stinky and they prevent people from coming near it because they're so smelly. There's frogs that have acidic spit. Be as crazy and wild as you want. Just make sure it makes sense. All right, have fun. Be ready to share on Friday.